we go, guys. Christmas with the Joker on Batman, the Fan-imated stream. Not even going to try to attempt to laugh. That's all There you go. There you go. Better laugh than I don't know. Trying to get to that level. Probably strain my voice like crazy.
Oh, it's especially like when you do the one he does later when it like starts off like the low rumble and then build. Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah.
My Lord, I forgot my notes. Hold on. Yeah,
we're running a quality show right here.
Exactly, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. But what's happening, guys? Welcome to Batman the Fan-imated stream. We're on to episode 2, which it's kind of funny because we're going by the production schedule. We're going by production order. And if you actually look on broadcast, this is like episode 38 or something. I know. Like yeah, I was like scrolling down. I'm like, wait, it's this far down?
Well, because they delayed it to be an actual Christmas episode.
It makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. But but still, it is kind of nice to actually dive into a Joker episode. And of course, like we talked about, probably the first episode that, originally, I mean, this is obviously Tim Curry was supposed to be voicing the voice of Joker. And, so Mark Hamill had to come in and kind of bring his own spin to the voice, but yet they already had, they already had it animated, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing is that when you know that, you see where it doesn't quite sync up.
Yep. There's a couple of times where I was kind of going, yeah, you could tell right here, but what are you going to do? I mean, still, this was his first go at it. And, I mean, it's funny though, because when you look at the broadcast order, I was going, wait a minute. So Joker, we watched it in the broadcast order. I mean, there was like there's other episodes that I'm trying to remember exactly that come in the broadcast order.
We get like the last laugh. That's the one with the barge and all the trash and all that. And
yeah. And then the episode, I forgot what it's called, when he's got the mayor's son like follows him and he's like,
be a clown.
Yeah. We'll get to those. But anyways, guys, appreciate you guys clicking in. We're going to be talking about, of course, Christmas with the Joker, and talk about, last week we, of course, did On Leather Wings, which was essentially a horror episode. And, great introduction to Batman. And they just went fuck all and said, hey, you know what? We're going to throw Man-Bat in there. People are going to be like, what the hell? We're going to have blood on Batman's face. We're going to do all that. And then all of a sudden you get to this episode. The tone shifts.
Okay, I wanted to ask you this.
Okay.
Did you feel like you were watching a Batman 66 episode?
A little bit. It's very much like that, especially when you get to the end, when you have people dangling from a rope over something bubbly and he's about to cut it, or you open your bat present, Yeah, there's definitely a feel of that here. And even the animation, I know you've talked about how the animation was like kind of different with different episodes. Is this like the same studio that
no,
it's not, right?
It's not. No, God, and I'm sorry, going from On Leather Wings to this episode, like this studio is the studio that whenever they did an episode, were those episodes where you would go,
yeah, you feel it. You feel
it. And I almost wrote down the name of the studio just to call them out, but I didn't feel like being that mean-spirited.
Right.
You can go and watch the episode, but no, because like last week, that's Spectrum. Like that is the creme de la creme. Like,
yes,
those are the episodes when the series was firing on all cylinders.
Exactly.
The studio that we will not name that did this episode, those are the ones where you just kind of go,
you gave it an effort. That's all you can really say. But of course, it opens up with I have the scene right here where, of course, you're going to bring in the iconic Jingle Bells Batman smells, which Joker,
which I think is just so meta and funny that they actually did that.
Yeah.
And that was funny because that was actually one of the reasons they had to get, when they were looking for actors to like play, and Mark Hamill fit the roles, that they were, Andrea Romano even said, we needed an actor who could sing.
Exactly. And it works. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, he's going to write a Christmas tree out of Arkham.
God. Oh my God. And it was really interesting watching it because I'm watching it on my Blu-ray box set, and the HD transfer they did is gorgeous. They did a beautiful job with the HD remasters, which are what are on HBO Max. And even the score, I was hearing nuances in Shirley Walker's score I had never heard before.
When they were on, when they were getting to the train, I was hearing a lot of that. I mean, it's just stuff that you hear like the normal theme, but that under that just the almost like a bassy kind of medley that was happening underneath it. I was going, yeah, there it is. That's tasty.
Oh my God. Well, then also on top of that, though, we've talked about how, people think, oh, isn't it just the Danny Elfman theme? And that train is the first time you really hear the Shirley Walker, like the one that, when you listen to the opening credits of Mask of the Phantasm, you hear that boom, dun 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 dun. Oh yeah, that's the one where it's like it's more of the it's less of the strings. It's more like you get the brass going, and it's very long, elongated, and that becomes the Batman theme you associate with the animated series, less the Elfman.
Yes, less the Elfman, more of the Walker. So it opens up, of course, with that, with Joker escaping from Arkham, which, man, I mean, they should maybe do something about that. The glass up there. I mean, just having that sunroof, that's probably not a good idea if a Christmas tree can burst right through it.
Jeez. And once again, just the silliness of you have a rocket Christmas tree.
Yeah. It works. It's like, how did he get that in there? What? What's going on with that? And then, of course, so we go and we have our first introduction of Dick Grayson, which, of course, is what? Is this supposed to be on Christmas Eve, or is it supposed
to be on Christmas Eve because they talk. I mean, Robin even says, even Scum spends Christmas Eve with their families.
That's right. So what's funny about this episode is like Dick just wants to have like a nice night. And, hey, let's watch A Wonderful Life. And then, of course, Bruce is being a Scrooge, which of course he is. Like he even makes the joke. I think he said like the reason why he didn't want to watch It's a Wonderful Life because of the title.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
I can never get past the title.
Yeah, exactly. And then the bat door closes. Because obviously they want to do a little patrol, and then they are doing a patrol. And what I found funny, and I point out the stupidest things, is like it's snowing outside. Robin's still wearing short sleeve shirts. it's like, come on, man! They could have drawn just something that just connected. No skin showing, because I'm kind of going, it looks a little cold out there.
But hey, at least he doesn't have the boy shorts. He at least has the long tights.
That's very true. That is very true. And so they're doing their patrolling, and then Batman's just finding a reason to kick someone's ass. He just wants to beat someone up. And of course, Robin is giving him shit, going, man, you just can't help yourself, which is a cool dynamic. I actually like this because it is like, Robin just wants to, hey, let's just go home, have some hot chocolate and watch a movie, and Bruce is like, nope, we gotta like go punch somebody. I gotta stop something. Almost gets in trouble when this one guy runs up to a lady who dropped a package, almost like takes him out, but just in time swings into the alley, of course.
What I love about this is that it really sets up a dynamic that by the time we get to season 3 and it's 2 years later and Dick's become Nightwing, it's like, it's really like you can just see the seeds have been planted for how that partnership was eventually going to just implode on itself.
Exactly. You get a introduction to, and then when we get to that Robin origin too, that's one of the golden episodes of this series. But the fact that, like you said, it kind of just sets it up. And when we get to those later episodes, specifically when he's Nightwing, when okay, when you've seen all these episodes with Robin, and when he's out on his own and he does, he knows how Bruce is. That's what I just love about, that's what I love about the Robin episodes specifically. And then, so of course, Joker, so they go home, and I love the fact, again, it's like, you're home, just wear something to relax, like a t-shirt. But of course, Bruce is all in his brown and yellow suit. Dick's wearing his vest and everything. I mean, I get it. It's animation. They
got one model. They have
one model, and they just run with it. And then, they put on the TV, and of course, Joker does the traditional Joker thing where he's taking over the TV and letting everybody know that well, letting Batman know specifically that he has a present for him and to find him. And man, I mean, again, you just can't get enough of Mark Hamill's everything about his voice.
Especially the way like when it tunes in, it goes, "It's a wonderful life.
Yeah,
Will not be seen this year."
Yeah.
And it was funny. I was actually watching a special feature that while Paul Dini didn't write the script, the concept of Joker taking over a variety, like doing a Christmas variety show, this was a Paul Dini idea.
Oh, okay.
Because Paul Dini wasn't writing yet, but he was still a story editor for the series.
Gotcha. Yeah, because Paul Dini doesn't come out till next week. Is next week Heart of Ice or no?
No, we don't have.
Yeah, that's right.
Of Heart of Ice for next week is Nothing to Fear.
That's right. That's right. Introduction.
We get our first Scarecrow episode.
Yeah, that's right.
Week.
But Paul Dini's first actual written script is Heart of Ice, which we, of course, on the first episode of this that was his first episode, the one that won the Emmy. Yeah, crazy. But he was still around. He still had his fingertips, like Scott just said, and some of the like you said, to have Joker take over like a variety Christmas show, which he does, and I love the fact that he has all these cardboard cutouts of pretty much everybody in the Bat universe is sitting right there. I mean, talk about top notch, man.
Well, and that's the one that made me think like, wow, this is a Batman 66 episode. Because I swear I've seen that episode from like from season 1. It's like,
it seems like you almost want to think like, is there something like, oh man. And then of course, he has Commissioner Gordon, he has a Bullock, and he has Summer Gleason held captive, and of course he's just giving them all shit. Like here's a scene right here where Joker's just being Joker, and it's great, it's funny, it's hilarious, and that's what we love about him, right?
And first appearance of Summer Gleason in the series.
Exactly. And you don't really even do you even get a proper introduction? No. Here's that score right here.
I know, that's yes.
God, it's just so good. I mean,
we don't get a proper introduction because we have no idea. Like, if this is the first, like this being episode 2, if you watch them in this order, you've never seen her before. Yeah, because she wasn't in on Leather Wings.
That's true. So I mean, I guess people already get introduced her if they're watching the broadcast order. But yeah, so our first introduction to Summer Gleason, and like you said, this scene right here with this score. I mean, my God. Yes. It's just so good, man.
And this is another example of how you can tell that Shirley Walker scored the episodes, because the music is going with what's on screen. Exactly. Like when Robin's detaching the cars, the score is making noises, and that's when you know, yes, these things were individually scored because it's matching up with what you're seeing, and I love it.
I know, it's so good. I think before this, when we, because Joker has a model, a train set model of Gotham City. He talks about blowing up bridges, and then he goes out to, I think he says Donner and Blitzen or something like that. Two guys that are out that are putting TNT on a bridge. One of the voices is Kevin Conroy again, isn't it?
Yes, the one that starts. Actually, the one who speaks and the one who starts singing Jingle Bells. Yeah, it's Kevin Conroy.
Batman smells. I was like, there's Conroy's voice again. So, I mean, I think is that like I don't even remember if that's a common thing throughout the series. Was he just his voice just randomly like doing goons and stuff like that? Also,
his voice would randomly do goons. Andrea Romano would randomly pop up. Bruce Timm would like people in the production would just randomly pop up.
It makes sense because it's like, why pay some other voice actor when you already got voice actors that have trained their voices to kind of like hide it, where you can kind of tell it's them but not really. So, but then of course the train sequence happens, and it's funny too because when Batman grabs the conductor guy and they launch out, I was all, thank God it was snowing, so because that was a hard slam in the ground right there when you're gripping onto this guy, and it just plop, and it was just like, damn, well, fresh powder, hopefully,
because I've hit snow before, and sometimes that's not even up.
No,
that's not a good soft landing.
No, sometimes it could be pretty rough, but if it's nice and fresh powder, and then you can obviously save a train conductor from dying, from falling to his death. A lot of it, there's a little bit of a lot of explosions in this. A lot of
yes,
you got the train explosion, you got other explosions, of course, the Christmas tree, all kinds of stuff when it comes to fire.
Well, they had to do a lot with standards and practices, because if you like, standards and practices had a problem with just the idea of, you want to do a Christmas episode where the guy is saying we're going to murder somebody by midnight, because you notice he never says kill, he never says murder. All he does is and he talks about rubbing them out. Like, he uses old gangster slang. And it's like that's how they get away with it.
That is interesting. I didn't really think about that they had to do that. Oh man. Yeah, because all he does is talk about, like, rubbing them out and then doing like the neck cutting. And it's just because, I mean, that's just what they could get away with, right? I mean, it wasn't anything. It was just,
well, that's why, like, in a couple of years, like, you're watching Spider-Man, the animated series, listen, he'll never say, I will kill you. I will. It's always, I will destroy you.
That's right. It's always destroy, which I guess kind of works a little bit, especially if you're saying it like how you just said it right now. Kind of, having a double syllable, a 2-syllable word actually works a lot better. But so they stop the train, and then they're still trying to find the Joker. And then, of course, the Bat computer is just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And just, I mean, first I think he says when they first try to locate him, he has like the electric grid in the computer,
and he's turning a dial.
Yes. The dial, and then he finds like a surge, and he found something. And then after they do the train, they have the mini Bat computer that's in the Batmobile. And I love the keyboard. The keyboard makes no sense. I don't know what's going on with that keyboard, but he's just but I'm like, what? That's not.
And he's watching TV in the car too.
They're still watching the continued Christmas episode. And I also love the fact that even Robin lifts his glove up. What does he see? A watch.
Oh, and it's like an analog, like,
yes, it's a little golden watch. And I was like, wow. So all this time, Robin just sports a nice little watch underneath his glove right there. He's like, it's almost midnight, Batman. We got to stop him. Yeah. Doing his little Robin, mannerisms and everything like that. So then they track, they go to Mount Gotham. That's where they pretty much are tracking everything. And then what's really cool about this is, it's an observatory. It's got a big, huge telescope. What does the Joker do with the telescope? Turns it into a cannon.
No, yes. This I loved, because this was one of those scenes from the promos leading into like the buildup. Like the fact that in broadcast it was episode 38. We're like, when do I get to? It was the observatory is the cannon. It was the it was the Jokers with like the machine gun fingertips.
Yeah. It's like, when we getting those, man. So then he's like, of course, shooting at Batman and Robin, and then he just starts firing out into Gotham City, which is awesome.
I'm just saying, it's another of those episodes you just go, why does anyone live in Gotham City?
I know. Yeah, you're just could be randomly driving, and then all of a sudden someone's shooting a cannon from the observatory that's over on Mount Gotham. No, we're right with you there, Naldo. Yeah, the score that is so far. We might have to, before we wrap up the episode, just might have to listen to it again, because it's superb. And then so then when they're inside, and then well, Joker, he what actually gives him away after they they're at the observatory and everything, and what did they say? Like they're on their walkie-talkies, and they give like
Operation Cause and Effect.
That's right.
That makes no sense.
I was like, what exactly did that entail? It just seemed like something. I forgot exactly even what happened. Like they use a grenade or something like that.
Yeah. Robin has literally a sling. Like David and Goliath has a sling, and basically throws a grenade, and it blows up the cannon.
Hey, whatever gets the job done. And so then they continue on. They still got to find Joker. And then when they tune back in, he's got a doll called Betty Blooper. Betty blooper doll, a Betty blooper doll, which was a little interesting because, of course it looks like Betty Boop, but not quite. And it's got this weird little dress with these fishnets on.
Fishnets, yes.
I was like, that's an interesting design that somebody made. But I'm like, hey, I'm not going to judge.
Well, I still love Mark Hamill's delivery. It's a Betty Blooper doll. Mm-hmm. And do we know what Betty Blooper dolls do? They wreak havoc on Gotham City.
Yes. And then he just puts it up to the little makeshift model, and it just goes, can't just knock down all the little buildings. But so then, of course, Batman, being the detective that he is, and Robin helping him out, goes, I haven't seen one of those dolls in 10 or 12 years, something like that. I think it was 10 years, he said.
All Robin says, I haven't seen one of those in years.
Yeah.
That's because they don't make dolls like that anymore. Not since the Lafco toy company went out of business 14 years ago.
And then, of course, yeah, and then they punch it in, and I'm using that Google, Bat Maps, I guess you could say. They find the address, and then, of course, you're like, yeah, why wouldn't you look there first? Because it's literally called Lafco Toy Company. There's a big, huge fucking clown head right on top of the building. It's like, of course the Joker's there.
Well, and also it totally reminds me of something that we'll see way down the line in Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Like that factory design. It's like somebody remembered that because
I know.
That looks familiar.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. I think they've actually even pointed fun out of it when in the Harley Quinn show about when well, I think there was an episode, right, where they pointed it out where and when a villain gets at headquarters, it's like, how do you not see this elaborate amusement park looking thing that basically just says the Riddler is here or the Joker is here? I mean, I think they did make a joke about that.
Oh, of course they did, because Harley Quinn is great and makes fun of everything.
Exactly. It's absolutely fast. So they show up there, and then, like I said, this is when you see those little Joker, and then he's of course, it wouldn't be Joker mannequin robot things without having some machine guns built into the fingertips.
Well, no, that's at the observatory.
Oh wait, that was at the observatory.
That was the observatory. Yeah, well, no, I understand, because there's so much stuff. When we get to Lafco, that's when he's playing, the Nutcracker suite, and we get the huge giant robot Nutcrackers and the little Joker planes.
That's right. The Joker planes where Robin. It was very easy. He just held up a trash can and they flew right into it. It was like, boing. Yeah, it's like, all right, that's all he had to do. Good on him. Sweet. I mean, that's why Robin is Robin. He has a big smile on his face too when he's doing it.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I will always remember that line from the commercial. Well, they don't call you Batman for nothing.
Well, because you knew that line was coming, because we get a nice little scene of, when it comes to the Joker planes, of Batman grabbing a bat and just taking a swing at all these planes, and then of course Robin says that line, and it's
so Batman 66. You have to appreciate it because it's so 66.
I mean, I'm just surprised they didn't have Robin say something like holy Lafco Toys Batman or something like that, or holy Batman or something. I'm surprised they didn't even just do an homage to the 66 by some of the stuff that's happening in here. So that Joker, of course, is getting upset, and he just wants to destroy all of them. He wants Batman out of there. So what does he do? He blows up the entire little cardboard copies. Was that before or after Lafco? See, I'm getting mixed up on which things happen when.
No, that happens at the observatory, I think.
Yeah.
Because Lafco is where he ends up being. That's when you get the giant vat of acid.
Gotcha. Yeah. See, I don't know why I keep on getting mixed up with that. But so then, of course, like you said, in typical Batman 66 form, he's got everybody on first off, they're dressed up in, of course, baby's clothes, or, at least Bullock has got the little, whatchamacallit on. What do they call that? I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. I know. A candy cane is what.
I'm like, you couldn't just spit the candy cane out. I mean, seriously.
It's not jammed in your face. It's not like a gag that's jammed into your mouth. It's literally just you're holding it. It's like if someone were to run up to me and try to put up a candy cane to my lips, I'd just be like, "What are you doing?"
Oh my God. Bruce Timm said that it took them several episodes. So they felt like they finally got their version of the Joker. Like he even admits these early episodes, and I think a lot of them that are the originally Tim Curry recorded episodes, they admit they were still kind of like, they were still feeling their version of the Joker out.
Yeah, because when we get to those other ones that we were just kind of talked about at the beginning, or, you know, when we get further in, I mean, you really see like anytime there's going to be a Joker episode, you knew it was going to be something special. Even though, you know, there's some good gags in here too, because of course he has a present for Batman. And, you know, you got to open it up or he's going to cut the rope, which I'm kind of going, all right, holding those three people up. That rope's pretty strong. Especially and
then, especially that pair of scissors.
Yes,
like,
it's all these guys, just a typical pair of scissors. So then, of course, Batman opens it up, and it's like, I mean, that's when I really was going, all right, this is, that's where I was really feeling the vibe of the 66. It was just 100% right there, because when he opens it up, gets a pie to the face.
You know, what I love of the fact is that, like, with just one swipe, he's able to completely clean all that cream. Like, that cream just comes right off.
Well, I mean, there's other things too, where like when they're at when a couple of the goons are like shooting at him, he takes his cape off, puts it on a teddy bear, and then they shoot at the teddy bear, so there's holes on the cape, and then when it's back on, it's perfectly fine.
It's perfectly fine. Yeah. No, because don't forget that the teddy bear's like, I love you.
Oh, you see a giant bear falling, get out of the way. But they just kind of went, boom. And then they fell down. It must have been a heavy bear. That's what I was thinking. I was like, how heavy is that bear that it just completely just knocked down and trapped those guys?
I'm going to tell you, if it's got like the bead stuff in it, I've picked up some large stuffed animals. Those, okay. Legit. Those things are legit heavy.
I mean, Batman dove behind him, you know, to dodge bullets. So, you know, there's got to be something in there that can actually, you know, slow down or even stop bullets. So, so then we got all that, and then pretty much the end of the episode, he cuts the rope, and Batman, of course, saves 3 people.
Oh, I mean, dude, momentum. I mean, he just grabs all 3 of them at one time and like pushes them away. And they just land with little boop.
Yeah, well, they land on their butts.
I know.
I was like, ow, that had to hurt a little bit. I mean, you see them like poof, and then it's just, that was it. And then of course, man, I'm like, because I watched the episode like earlier this week, and I'm like trying to remember exactly what does Batman do? Like, he grabs the Joker how did the Joker almost fall into the acid?
He tripped on a roller skate.
That's right.
A random roll. There's just a random roller skate there. Like, there's no setup, because it actually does have the cool move where he grabs his arms behind his back, and Joker like wiggles out like he's got false arms.
Oh yeah, that's right.
To his sweater.
Yeah, when Batman grabs him in typical Joker fashion, he just slips out of the jacket. It's like a false jacket with hands or with the gloves. You know, just because he's the Joker, you never know when you're going to need that. We're going to need another layer, you know, just in case you have to easily slip out of Batman's grasp, which, you know, it was great. And then, of course, he slips on a random roller skate. You know, why not? It was just left there because somebody, when they closed the factory, they said, oh, I don't need this anymore, and just kind of tossed it away. And so he almost falls to the acid. And Batman, of course, grabs him by the ankle and kind of just, teases him a little bit. And then he just says, what? Merry Christmas, Joker? I think that's
Merry Christmas, Joker.
Bah, humbug. That's right. And then we cut back to Bruce and Dick watching It's a Wonderful Life. Again, back in their, you know, the suit, the vest. I'm kind of going, is this the day out? This is Christmas Day Eve now, right? This can't be. They didn't just go home after taking out the Joker. They went home and slept, I hope, because it was almost midnight, because, you know, Robin had that watch and he said it was almost midnight.
I don't know, because Alfred already had that goose cooked. You can't let the goose go to waste. But yet he had time to borrow it from Gordon. Like, that's the part that gets me, is like the borrow record. And I love the idea that, like, we can't watch It's a Wonderful Life unless it's broadcasting live on air. Like,
you know what? I mean, before, I mean, you know, that was appointment viewing.
Yes, it was,
man. I mean, that definitely was appointment viewing before you had, you know, everybody had it on video, or we have streaming. You could pretty much watch it right now. Yeah, that was appointment viewing. I remember even like The Grinch Stole Christmas was also appointment viewing. I was more into that when I was younger. I didn't really. I mean, I watched It's a Wonderful Life, but that wasn't really. When you're a kid, it's kind of it's a little heavy-hearted. But when it came to Grinch Stole Christmas, that was definitely appointment viewing every Christmas season, for me at least. But and then of course, so they watch it, and Bruce actually, kind of digs it and he goes, It's a Wonderful Life. And what does Bruce say? He says, like, you know what? Sometimes it is, or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
It really is.
Okay, that's right. He goes, sometimes it really is.
Yeah, it was like something. Yes. And then of course we cut to Joker in a straitjacket in Arkham, just like
laughing his ass off, which is perfect.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and he's just like his eyes are going like cross-eyed as well, and just going crazy. Still has the Joker pants on too, if you notice. He's got the purple
and the spats.
Yep, got the spats on too. So, and that was probably like one of the coolest shots, because just the angle of
you almost get a Dutch tilt there. Yeah,
there you go. You almost get a little bit of a Dutch tilt right there, and then of course it just zooms out and blah blah blah, and then boop, there it is. That's the end of the Christmas the Joker episode. I mean, we're making fun of it, but there's still a lot of good things that are within the
this was one of the episodes, because back in the day when 2004 was a big deal, because when the series finally came out on DVD, that was like the first time for you to own like all the episodes. Before then, you had those character specific VHSs that only had like 4 episodes.
That's right.
Yeah, I had the Joker one, the Riddler one, and the Robin one. And of course, Christmas with the Joker was one of the 4 episodes they had for the Joker tape. And so I watched this episode a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to I totally forgot about having those videotapes. Yeah, because it only was like it was specific to the villain, right? And yes, yeah. And then of course the Robin one too. Man, I totally forgot about those. Holy shit! You're bringing me back.
I could probably dig in a box,
dude,
and they're in my garage. Actually, I could whip those suckers out and go, here they are.
What's funny is my mom probably still has those in her garage too. She probably has boxes of old VHSs, and I'm sure she has them. She's not watching right now. I didn't see her pop in, but if she did, I would ask her, like, hey, do you still have those? Because man, I totally completely forgot about that until you just talked about it right now. Crazy. But no, but even though it's very much like a Batman 66 episode, it's still, I mean, if you're gonna approach this and say it's like your first sitting watching these, I mean, it really is kind of cool to see them in production order, just because like you're saying, the way it started off with On Leather Wings was such a strong start. Then it kind of dips into this, all right, we're going to get to this kind of campy episode. We're going to have Robin into it. We're going to see that relationship get started that you'll see throughout the series. And then, of course, getting an introduction to Joker and just the zaniness of it. But, of course, I mean, the biggest thing that we're just going to commend is, of course, the score.
And even this one, I mean, Shirley Walker even reorchestrates the Nutcracker Suite to put a Batman twist to it. Because go back and listen to the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, or I'm not really sure which part of the suite is, but the it's like, it's not straight up, like it's rearranged, and it has some very Batman-esque elements like added into the score, because once again she scores it so that like when Batman's like swinging the bat,
goes with the action.
It goes with the action, because you hear the bump 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 bump, and so they actually made it to where it matched with where he's hitting the planes, and so it's just fun to incorporate all of that into the music.
It really is. I mean, she did such a fantastic job. But yeah, let's listen to that train sequence again. Just kind of nerd out about it, because it's just so good. And I see people are also just loving it too. But let me turn it up. Oh, see, just hear that. Dun, 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 dun. See?
Bump, bump, bump.
Yeah.
Keyboard makes no sense.
But it says autopilot. That's all that matters.
That right there.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
Oh, it's just so good.
Oh.
See, even when he goes down the ladder, it's like,
Yes,
you know, it's yeah. Teamwork, guys. Teamwork. Yeah.
You know what? That's a funny thing. It never made any sense to me that that instead of the pole being like you pull it down, the awkward arm angle of like pulling it up, that never made sense to me. I'm sorry.
Right? Oh man. And then up, bridge is there. Get out.
I had to commend that engineer. He's really cool. The fact that Batman, like freaking Batman, just popped his head out the window. I mean,
fresh powder right there. They landed in. Don't worry, guys. Batman's fine. And then right off and boom. God, that is a hell of an explosion.
I also love the fact that you notice the score went away.
Yes.
So that you could have the effect of the train going.
I hate Batman and Robin. And then, of course, we get another explosion.
Oh, he blows up the audience after the train. Right. Okay.
There it is. Yeah. Let's build a snowman. Oh, Mark Hamill, we love you. But yeah, what was funny about that explosion, it seemed like it was a lot for just the train and, one little car. Seemed like a lot, but, the explosions in Batman the Animated Series, they're awesome.
Okay. Well, you can get away with that.
Yeah.
Because once again, non-reproducible violence. We can get away with non-reproducible violence.
That's very true, But yeah, so I think that when it comes to this episode, I mean, the score, that's where you really just, the score on Leather Wings was great too, but
we also get the Joker theme for the first time.
That's right. Yeah, which is, man, that's right. We got the individual themes that we'll be breaking down too, man. I mean, I think when it comes to individual themes, Harvey's the Two-Face theme, man, so dark, so grim. When we get to that episode, I'm like trying to even remember how it goes. It's so dark and how it, plays out. But
when we get to it though, the one episode I will always remember is do you remember the episode A Bullet for Bullock?
Yes.
Oh, that thing had such a jazz 1950s detective movie score. Like we'll talk about that. But once again, the scores would also change to fit the episode they were for. And so this one, it was a little bit lighter. It was a little bit sillier because it was a sillier episode.
Yeah, and then you got literally a train rescue. A train, we got to rescue this train. So it's full of excitement, action and everything. It's not really darker. It's not really a dark or grim episode, really. It's not. You're not going to see. You don't see Gotham in those crazy angles and the dark shadows too much. A lot of things happen outside of Gotham because you got the train, you got the observatory, and then of course when you get to the Lafco, that's more within Gotham. But still, I mean, it really just it has very much a lighter tone. But that just goes back to the whole. Wow, this reminds us of Batman '66. So
yeah, it was funny because it was intended to be a darker episode.
Was it?
But it was it's Paul Dini. Yeah. Anytime that man could make something dark and sick, he went for it. That's why his Joker episodes are always so good. Well, but once again, standards and practices wouldn't let him get away with it. So this was as far as they could take the idea.
I mean, because the Joker does have people hostage. They're tied up. They're and then they're dangling in front, over some acid where they could essentially melt. So, I guess that if that's as dark as you can get, and then, but again, that last shot of the Joker just in the cell and the way that it just kind of lifts up, does that little tilt and the angle down, that long angle of him just losing his mind. That's probably my favorite shot of the whole episode right here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I always feel like that "Merry Christmas" is like a total meta line to the audience, which is why it's such a great episode to air during the Christmas season. So
Let's see if I could find that because it's just just the angle and everything that happens. Let's see if let's see, what should I type? Christmas with the Joker. Boop. And we appreciate you guys, of course, talking Batman with us and everything. I don't think, let's see there. Hey, look at that. Ours comes up. There it is. Yeah. When I typed it in, it literally had R. Yeah. So then it gets to this point where, yeah, this is the end right here. Oh, not video file. Let's see, damn StreamYard. Hold on, my computer's going, why did you choose that? Because there's an option to share a video file from your computer. So now my computer's going, don't do that. I'm not listening.
Oh, okay. I'm jumping into the comments here, and I want to answer TK421's question. He's from the UK. He's never heard the term appointment viewing before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and explain it while I dial up the video right here.
Okay. TK421, appointment viewing, back in the day when there was no DVRs, like literally when something aired, if you didn't watch it, you missed it.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to see it again, it would have to be like a rerun. So the idea of appointment viewing is you made an appointment to be in front of your TV at a certain time so you could watch whatever it was. It's basically a way of saying it's a must watch, except for the fact that it means I had to, like Batman the Animated Series. I think we talked about this in the intro episode. This was appointment viewing. I had to make sure I was at home before 4 o'clock, so that I could have the TV on, the channel tuned, so I could watch the episode so I wouldn't miss it. That's the concept of appointment viewing.
Yeah, that's that's just back in our day when we didn't have all this, streaming services. Man, sometimes I wonder, like, how did we survive like this? I mean, literally, there'd be times where, you know, if you knew something like a Halloween special of, maybe it was for like the Addams Family or even Batman or something like that,
or the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown,
yes,
something like that. Yes,
and there'll be times where you're out with your friends, where you're like, I gotta be home by 8 o'clock for this, or 7 o'clock or something like that. I mean, that was literal, appointment viewing. You had your TV guide. And we all had those TV guides. I remember my grandma used to highlight shit that she was going to watch. Yeah. She always highlighted. You look at her TV guide, it was either highlighted or, you know, if she didn't have a highlighter, she had a pen and underlined the stuff that she was going to be watching. I mean, that's what we did back then. Good times, man. It definitely was. But here's the scene right here. Good old Arkham Asylum. Dun, dun. Look at the eyes and everything.
I know.
See that angle right there? I love that angle.
Oh God,
I love that.
Especially with the blood red sky, like right there. Yeah,
and he's like right in the moonlight, just losing his mind. It's just so good. It's just so good. That's part of that animation. Even though the animation on other spots, you know, it's a little wonky, but it's still right there. That shot was definitely the best shot of the episode right there. So yeah. We good? I think we're good. I think we pretty much covered. Yeah, I think we covered it. You know, we covered that episode pretty well. I know we were trying to fit an hour, but you know, sometimes they're going to run a little shorter because.
This one's pretty much. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. We, you know, I don't know how many times we got to say it. It's like it is like a Batman 66. It's a nice little introduction to the Joker if you're watching in this order. It's cheesy, it's campy, but it's also got, you know, a great score and great action. Great action.
Yeah, I'll still love the you know. I also love the fact that Robin, and this is a complete nerd thing, but I love it that Robin, like, only half of his cape. It was always over the left shoulder. Like, he only needed his left arm. The right side always stayed like drooped.
It always did. That's right. That is true. So next week, for production order, like I said, next week will be our introduction to Nothing to Fear, our first Scarecrow episode. And this was a design, the first design, right? I think you mentioned
it's the only time this design is used
because it really doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't. I totally forgot about it until I was looking at HBO Max and I saw his face. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what he meant. Because it had like this weird, I don't know. I mean, it just didn't. The design they actually went with was a lot better and freakier. This one is just like he's got these, you know, white eyes, and I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about it next week for sure. But it was a little bit of a weird design at first.
Yeah, but the voice actor, I'm going to have to remember who was the voice of the Scarecrow because great Jonathan Crane. Yeah, great voice. Which is why I was so glad they gave him a much better design by Fear of Victory.
Seriously, Yeah. Yeah, he definitely does get better. And then even, I mean, when they even get further into like Batman and Robin and stuff, they redesign him big time where he looks.
Oh man, that third season, he's got like that hangman.
Yeah, he's got a noose, cut
Yes.
noose around his neck. I'm like, wow, they really
And a different voice too, because by that point it's Jeffrey Combs, who's the voice of Scarecrow for that season.
Nice. So there you have it, guys. That was Christmas with the Joker. Great episode. You know, cheesy and campy and all the things that you want to hear. Like I said, that last scene is that's definitely the best part of this episode, but also the score is fantastic with Shirley Walker's score. And like we just said, next week, Nothing to Fear. So make sure you watch that. We'll be here. We'll probably be, we'll probably still be toying with the time because I know you're doing another stream with Meg, right?
Yes, we're bringing back the Dune stream. So
that's right. Yeah, I'm about 200 pages into that thing, man. It's starting to get really good.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a slow get to there. You know, you get to the when you're starting to get to all the politics and what's actually happening on the planet. It starts to really get good. So I'm actually how many pages in is she? She's probably going to be pretty good into it. I mean,
no. We're going really like small chunks. So like in her paperback, she's like in page 60. In my hardcover, I'm like on page 46. Okay. Like we're really sort of slowly. I mean, you got to remember, we spent an hour talking about one chapter last time. Like we're really like nerding out about this. So it's going to be we get till Christmas or whenever it is, whenever Dune actually eventually does come out.
That's very true. I know. Hopefully that doesn't
like October, I think actually.
That's right. Huh? I think they did bump it up to.
It took the Batman spot.
That's right. God, man. Who knows when anything's coming out, but make sure you guys watch Nothing to Fear for next week. And we'll let you know exactly what time it's going to happen. We'll work around that stream as well. And like I said, I had to work around with this one. I had to push it an hour early because Green Lantern himself is going to be joining me in about an hour and a half. No, about a half an hour now, about 40 minutes. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, duh. Wayne T. Carr is going to be joining me for a Saturday edition to the Vodka stream. So make sure you guys come back and watch that. It's going to be a lot of fun to get to know that guy. Maybe we'll be a couple of surprises that might show up during that episode. And, even though we had the Vodka stream last night, I'm Scott, I'll send you a link if you want to join and talk to Wayne. I was going to bring in people and just be like, hey, if he was going to stick around and answer some questions and stuff. So I'll definitely be posting a link. I'll do the normal thing that I do with a guest, talk to him for about half hour, 45 minutes, and then, bring in some fan questions and whatnot. And like I said, hopefully some surprises. So that's definitely going to be a lot of fun. So go ahead, Scott, do it.
Oh, well, of course, you can find me on Twitter, ScottDC27. You can listen to my podcast, the DC Film Squadcast, wherever podcast can be found. Of course, you can find it on Vero, Facebook, YouTube, and the entire network of shows over at squadcastmedia.com.
There it is. And then, of course, you guys know what to do. Hit that thumbs up before you leave. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm doing this stuff. If you want to become a member, hit the member button, become a Film Junkie member, or join the Patreon where you can get early access to things where, Vodka stream guests. A lot of people already knew. There's actually people that knew about Wayne T. Carr a couple days ago on there. I like to give them the early access. And then, of course, there's the merchandise down below, the Film Junkie Closet. I'm already, like I told you guys, I have 2 other shirts I designed that are going to be sent to me to make sure that they look good. And then, of course, I have another one too. So all that stuff. All right, guys. So like I said, next weekend, possibly a different bat time, but the same bat channel. That's what it is right there. So, and that's pretty much it, guys. And I'll see you guys in about a half an hour and talk to you later.